Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem HaKakodash. And I want to say Shalom to Akwanakwath out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This lesson's titled A Labor of Love. Okay, a labor of love. And I got, 5 scriptures here that I want to go ahead and grab. Most of us know what labor is, but I do want to go ahead and just define it. Just for the lesson's sake. Look, so here it is. Looking it up. Dictionary right there. Labor, work. Especially hard or physical work. That's in here in America. But labor means work. All right. A work. So basically a work of love. A work of love. And that means, doing what we're supposed to be doing to the best of our ability in this truth. All right. We're not going to be perfect by no means. Following the commandments is the big one, right? Following the commandments. And that's what we're really talking about today, because you have a lot of these Christians. Just yesterday we were talking about these Christians. Every time they come against this truth, they fail. And, a lot of the ones they talk about, even some of these Hebrew Israelite camps like IUIC, they talk about, that like, well, not IUIC. IUIC is on the opposite side of the spectrum. Right, they're the way too far. These guys are way too left. So, you have the people in the world that says, oh, it's not, it's grace. We don't have to keep the law. We don't have to keep the law. We don't have to keep the law. And they're right and wrong about that. All right. And then you have IUIC, the laws, the statutes, and the commandments, the laws, and they're right and wrong about that. All right. There is a middle ground, and you have to have an understanding about that. Okay, you can't be to the point where you're, behaving like IUIC, because then you're getting to the point where you're being over righteous. And the scripture says, "Be not righteous over much," right? So you're not supposed to be being like that. It gets to the point where that over righteousness is really becomes pride. All right, thinking that you can keep the laws 100%, right? Which means that apparently in that case you wouldn't need a savior, because he came to to cover our sins. But if you can keep all the laws and you're not sinning, then I guess you don't need a savior, right? So you must be on some different being, right? What chapter of the Bible's in your name? Oh, it's not? Oh, then you must not be this great person that you're saying that you happen to be, right? So, and then you have the Christians that say, oh, you don't have to keep any of the laws. No, that the law was done away with, right? So you have two sides of an extreme, and that's two bad ways of looking at it, right? Because that's not biblical. That's not how you should look at it. Now, we should all know John 14 and 15, right? Everybody should know that, all right? Which reads, if ye love me, keep my commandments. So, theoretically, even if the law was done away with, and the law wasn't done away with, we're not under the law right now. We are under grace, all right? But if you love the Lord, all right, and you're showing respect to the Lord, okay, you're going to keep his commandments. You're not going to go off and just do whatever you want, right? Now, we know we're saved through predestination. We were chosen. But again, it goes back to a respect thing. It goes back through love, okay? That if you respect someone, all right, we're not under the law right now because the Lord knows that we can't keep it to the best of our ability, right? Or we can't keep it all, okay? But we can't keep it 100%. But we can keep it to the best of our ability, Slaki, is what I meant to say. He knows that we can't keep it 100% to the exact T, because if you offend at any point, you've broken all the laws. And we're going off I'm going off right now because I'm wearing my work shirt. This polo I have to wear is made of polyester. That's a synthetic fiber. That's a garment of mixed fabric. Okay, that's not same with my socks. Same with my pants that I have to wear. Right. So that's going off right there. Right, that's why we need the mercy and salvation through Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. Right, we need the mercy of the Lord, because without it we wouldn't make it. So you thinking that you're going to be able to save yourself or deliver yourself somehow because you can keep all the laws is just a proud statement, filled with hubris, right? So, again, John 14 and 15. If you love me, keep my commandments. So again, it goes back to respect. Okay, you're going to keep the commandments if you love the Lord. Now, going down into verse 21, it says, He that hath my commandments and keepeth them, he it is that loveth me, And he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father, and I will love him, and will manifest myself unto him. So, there you go. And Christians just don't really get it. All right, these over-righteous Israelite camps. And I mean, it's calling IUIC an Israelite camp is just, it's like calling a cornbread a cake. Right? Are there similarities? Yes. But it's not really a cake, right? I mean, by name they are, but, when I think of Hebrew Israelites, I'm damn sure not thinking of someone who's still calling on the name of Jesus Christ, right? And that's what those guys are doing. So, they're about is 1 foot dipped into the Hebrew Israelism as they can be, right? Just one toe in, right? They just like the style and all that stuff, and that's it, but... the only thing, they teach some things, but they're not like GMS. They don't give you the whole truth, all right? GMS will give you the whole truth, unaltered, right as it is, no sugarcoating, all right? And that's why a lot of people don't like GMS, right? Because they don't want to hear that. They don't want to have to hear the truth, all right? People love hiding from the truth. That's their favorite thing to do. Anything that hurts them or makes them feel uncomfortable, that they want to find their way to wiggle their way out of it. So it goes the same with GMS when they start, I don't like that. Those guys are hateful, they're evil, they're mean, they're this, they're that. All these different names, man. All these different names. All because you're too soft, man. You're way too soft. You're soft as hell. And you don't want the truth, all right? So guess what? You're not going to get it. And because of that, you're going to be put to death. Because you couldn't handle a few harsh words. It's pathetic, man. So we're supposed to be keeping his laws, all right, to the best of our ability. Now, we're not going to be perfect. Again, we're not perfect, okay? Let's get 1 John 5:3. Then I got to head in. And it reads, "For this is the love of Yahweh, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous." Oh, man, I can't even eat pork. Sabbath's coming in now. Sabbath's coming in. Right? It's not supposed to be like that, man. All right? You'll have demons that try to put stuff on that, and you got to rebuke them. I rebuke in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Get up out of here, demon. Right? Having you try to think the wrong ways about things. You're like, it doesn't even sound like you. All right? And it'll snap. And you'll know it's a demon, because you're like, that ain't me. Right? That ain't how it is. I don't even speak like that. That's not my mannerisms and my tone of speech. Damn demon. But yeah, man. So we're supposed to love the Lord, keep his commandments. They shouldn't be grievous to us and something that's like causes offense to us and that we hate and we get all mad about it. We should just do it, all right, out of love for the Lord. So I got to close it there, run up in this job site, unfortunately. So I'll be back how it is normally, Lord willing, to finish this up. Until then, Lord willing, Shalom. All right, Shalom, we're back. Shabbat Shalom now. So, so continuing off of 1 John 5:3, so it's not something, the commandments are not something that should be grievous, that you should hate doing, all right? It's not, heinous or grievous to have to not eat pork, or to not do drugs, or to not, this or that, right? These different things that were commanded. It's nothing that is out of the realm of doable, all right, of course, the things that are in the best of our ability. Now, there's 613 laws completely, and some of the laws we just can't keep, right? Like I mentioned, the ones with, apparel, as far as, come on, brain's drawing a blank, mixed fabrics, right? And, in IUIC with the whole thing now with girls wearing jeans and stuff like that, now it's not, is it ideal for women wearing jeans? No. I mean, but you can't be over-righteous either. There's going to be certain positions where, women have to wear jeans, all right? Whether it's at a job or, it's getting harder and harder, for these women to find dresses that are even, modest. I mean, damn near half of these jeans are more modest than dresses now. And, because you're supposed to wear, and that goes back into wearing, not wearing that which pertaineth unto a man, all right, which pertaineth unto a man, Salakia. But, there's going to be certain, whether your job, or, like I said, it's harder and harder to find dresses these days, all right, being with someone that has a wife, all right, being someone that has a wife, when you see these dresses, I'm like, God damn, man. It's like, they're specifically designed to have your titties out as much as possible, right? As much as possible. and making the fabric more elastic and thinner, so like it accentuates your curves more. And it's more distracting than if you almost just wore a t-shirt and a pair of pants at this point, right? These fucking thin ass elastic ass dresses that are form fitting, you can see everything, right? The shape of the butt cheeks and everything. It's like, goddamn, man. So you can't be over righteous in that regard. Again, going back to be not righteous over much, because again, there's just certain things, you can't, and the head wraps, right? Now, your head's supposed to be covered when you pray and stuff, but if you're going to work every day as a woman, all right, Jake woman, with your head covered, people are going to start to pop questions after a while, all right? Why do you always got your head covered? Okay, what's up with your head cover? Are you Muslim? Are you this? Are you that? Why do you have your head covered, right? And it's one of those situations where it's good, all right, but there's going to be certain situations, and even the brothers have talked about it. This isn't just me talking about it. I've heard other brothers talking about it, where they got that tight-ass head cap on all the time. Be wary of someone like that, okay? So, and again, there's going to be certain situations where we're not going to be able to keep it perfectly, all right? And that's why we need Yahweh Shai at the end of the day, because we're not going to be perfect, right? But that's, again, so going back and, it's not two sides of the extreme. You have people that try to, keep the law, keep the law, keep the law, keep the law, as if the law is going to save you, right? And that's not true. We know that keeping the law will not save you, but breaking it will kill you, right? But we keep the law. Not being, well, why do you keep the law then? Well, we keep the law to show respect and reverence to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, all right, as is the proper reason that you should be keeping the law. And then you have the Christians that say the whole law was done away with. We can, there was a vision. We can eat all clean things now, right? Jesus made everything clean. That's not what happened. It's not what happened at all. But again, going back to their misunderstanding of the scriptures, right? So again, I'm gonna get 1 John 5:3 again, even though we already got it. It says, "For this is the love of Yahweh, that we keep His commandments, and His commandments are not grievous." So again, the Sabbath, we're in it now, all right, that's a commandment, all right, we're keeping it as the best of our ability. Now, did I keep it perfect today? No. Why? Because I just got off of work, right? Again, broke the law then. So if I was saved by works, man, I'd be done. I'd be assed out, all right? No way I'd be making it, all right? Because I go off constantly, all right? Wearing, the clothes that I wear for work, even the clothes I have at home, how hard it is to find 100% pure cotton shirt, all right, or wool, and do you know how expensive? It's going to be damn near $50 to $70 a shirt. I don't have that type of money. Do you have that type of money? All right? So, if you do and you want to send me a bunch of shirts, I'm just messing around, but if you want to send us all, if you're some, super rich Israelite and you want to send us all 100% cotton shirts, hey, you go right ahead, buddy, right? We ain't gonna beg for shit, but if that's what you want to go do, that, here you go, so you can keep the law. No, sure, man, but it's we keep it to the best of our ability, all right? The work clothes I have are going off by being mixed fabric, all right? Working today was going off because I didn't keep the Sabbath. I had to sell people well, did I have to sell people? No, because I think I made one of my coworkers go into, he was an Edomite, so I was like, you can get those people, because I knew they were going to buy some things right off the bat. But I don't think I sold a whole bunch of stuff today. But if I did, then I've done it before on Sabbath because I happen to be at work. If someone's going to buy some stuff, they're coming into a store to buy some stuff, they're going to buy some stuff. No, I cannot sell you that, right? And yeah, man. So it's ridiculous, but and we do this to show reverence to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. So I wanted to get Romans 6:14 just to show you. All right, Romans 6. All right, yep. 14. It reads, "For sin shall not have dominion over you, for ye are not under the law, but under grace." A lot of Christians will stop reading this. See, we're not under the law, we're under grace, brother. Right? All right. What's the next part? A lot of Christians do that. They don't read up or down, right? They'll just read one verse and they'll leave it. Verse 15. "What then? Shall we sin because we are not under the law, but under grace? Yahweh forbid." Again, so shall we just sin because we're not under the law? No, we shouldn't do that. It's a bad thing, right? We should be keeping it to the best of our ability. But again, going back to these Christians, they think that the law was just done away with and it's a free-for-all. It's not a free-for-all. Never was, right? But these Christians, they keep it like that because they wish it was a free-for-all. And that's why, there's so much disdain, all right, for the Hebrew Israelite community, is because we actually have, law and order. They don't like it, all right? They don't like that they can't just do whatever they want. They don't like that they can't, they don't like that they have to keep a Sabbath day and can't do what they want to do. They don't like that they have to they have to stop eating certain things. They don't like that they have to stop doing this and stop doing that. They don't like that. They want to do what they want to do when they want to do it. And when they can't do those things, they say, no, I don't like this. This doesn't feel right to me. This doesn't feel like something God would want me to do. No, it doesn't feel like something you want to do, okay? It doesn't feel like you want to do it. Not that the Lord doesn't want you to do it. You don't want to do it. It's too hard, right? That's what it is. It's too hard. So, yeah, man. Let's get Baruch 4:1. And I got one more after this. Just a shorter lesson today. And it reads, "This is the book of the commandments of Yahweh, and the law that endureth forever." There you go, right there. And the law that endureth forever. So law endures forever. It wasn't done away with. It never stopped. All right, the law that endureth forever. "All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die." All right, so, the people that keep the commandments shall come to life. The people that, are not doing the commandments shall die. Simple as that. Pretty plain and simple. Do what the Lord says, live. Don't do it, die. Okay? But again, without being over righteous. Okay? Because there's certain things that are just outside of our control. All right? And that's where the Lord's mercy comes into play. All right? For example, sometimes you got to cook on Sabbath. You're not supposed to be even lighting a flame at all on Sabbath. Okay? And a microwave's not a loophole either. All right? You're not even supposed to be, in a sense of heating up that food like that, right? So if you used a microwave, you went off. If you cooked, you went off, right? You even boiled some water for a tea, you went off, right? What else? There's a bunch of things, man. Bunch of things. So I'm trying to think. If there's so many things that you can't keep, right? Do you brothers out there, do you kick your wives out of the house when they're on their period? Do you have, a shack built somewhere for them to live? No. If she ever got her period, all right, and, of course she didn't bleed on the bed or anything, but like even in the bed, all right, if she was ever in that bed while she was on her period, that bed has to go away. And if she went out and sat on the couch, that couch has to go away. Right? That couch has to be thrown away. That bed has to be thrown away. If you live in an apartment and that oven ever cooked pork, you got to get rid of that oven. You got to throw it away. You cannot cook your food in that because all the food that's cooked in that will be unclean. Do you do that? All right. Do you kick your woman out of the house? Do you get rid of the bed? Do you get rid of the clothes? Do you get rid of the furniture? No, you don't. All right. You don't do those things. Okay. So stop being over righteous. And you people that say you don't have to keep any law, stop being lazy, all right? Because you don't want to do it. That's what it is. You don't want to do it, right? That's all it is. Because really, at the end of the day, you don't give a damn about the Lord, right? You give a damn about what you want to do. Certain things, are meant to make you feel uncomfortable, right? There's certain things, on Sabbath, you're like, man, I want to watch this movie, or man, I had a long day. Sometimes I wish I could just, unwind, play a little bit of the game or whatever. It's not about us, though. It's not about us, all right? We have 6 other days to do what the hell ever else, right? One day for the Lord. One day is not a lot to ask, right? So sometimes, you'll have that flesh get on. You're like, oh, man, I want to play the game. Oh, well, right? Oh, well, right? We have Sabbath, from now until tomorrow evening. And then Sunday evening, it kicks back up again and ends Sunday. Okay, so right now it's Friday to Saturday, all right? Currently Friday. And it'll be ending Saturday, tomorrow night, all right, at sundown. And then it'll resume Sunday evening at sundown, and it'll end Monday evening, all right, at sundown, and the new Sabbath, because we have a new moon coming. That's what's, they're going to be from Sunday to Monday. We're in the Sabbath right now, and then coming up in a day or so is going to be the new moon Sabbath, it's a new moon. It's kept as a Sabbath, right? And it's going to be Sunday sundown to Monday sundown, right? And then going forward until the next change, it'll be Sabbath will be Sunday to Monday, right? So, and technically going with that, we'll have a break, all right, coming up tomorrow night, and you can do whatever you need to do, cook, play some games, watch some TV, or whatever you need to do, right? Whatever we need to do or want to do, right? Go shopping if you need that to do that or whatever. And then all day Sunday, all right, until the evening. Then the evening it's Sabbath, and then you have all night Monday, right? That's free. So all in total, what is it? It's only one day. That's technically, it's because it's sundown to sundown. So just 24, right? 24 hours in total, because you have 12 hours, basically a 12-hour period, almost, pretty much, a little bit longer than that. Roughly around that, and then you have another 12-hour period, so it's only 24 hours that you're really away from anything. All right, when it comes to Sabbath and new moon, when it's Sabbath, it's really only like a 12-hour thing, right? So because it's like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 7, yeah, like 12 hours. Well, no, a little bit over. I'm doing math. I'm not going to do that. Not good at it. I'll be here all day. But yeah, so it's, a little over 12, 16 hours, something like that. And that's it, man. So it's not something that's like super hard to do or whatever. You just, sit, keep Sabbath, watch some lessons. What I like to do on Sabbath is I like to watch edifying videos. All right, I'll go on YouTube or again, because you can't be over righteous. There's be some people that don't want to watch YouTube videos at all, right? But and then there's the small hats. They think that no technology at all, but that's not how we do it. That's not in this truth, at least, with technology, because you're watching lessons or you're putting together lessons using your phone. Usually, you'll be putting together lessons or watching lessons. But what I like to do is just me and my wife. We usually put on like some type of documentary or like some type of something that you could potentially get some spiritual and enlightenment from, or that could potentially I watch a lot of news on Sabbath too. I'll look through a lot of news, or I'll look into conspiracies, or I'll look into a lot of different stuff like that. Stuff I would not normally do outside of Sabbath. Okay, stuff that I would not normally be doing, and looking into like the different things in nature and how they work, getting more deeper understanding of like the Lord's creation, terrible news about judgment of people, learn more about Esau's lies, all right, looking into history on stuff and figuring out what they said and what they lied about and all that stuff, because there's a lot of that stuff, looking at history stuff, and there's a lot, scrolling on Reddit on the popular and seeing if anything pops up, right? Because there's a lot of, you'll see some crazy shit that pops up on Reddit. Probably, a woman and her husband killed in this or that, a skiing accident, and her children were right down after them and tumbled them, and 3, 4, and ages 3, 4, and 5, and they're all dead as well. Stuff like that. And you're like, geez, okay, that's a lesson. That's a lesson right there. I found many a lesson on Sabbath by going on Reddit and looking for something. I said, save that, and I'll just add a whole bunch. I'll save, and there's still stuff you just never get to, right? So lesson within a lesson. That's the type of stuff you can do on Sabbath. It's not grievous, all right? None of the commandments are, all right? And there's not, you can't eat pork anymore. What type of pork did you want to eat? Like, because you like pepperoni pizza? Cool. Get a beef pepperoni, all right, or turkey pepperoni. All right, and put it on there. Get a cheese pizza and put it on there. All right, remelt it a little bit. All right, just pop it in the oven for like 2 more minutes. All right, put the pepperonis on it. All right, you go wherever you're going, get a cheese pizza. All right, or you can even have them put the other ingredients on it, the olives or whatever else you want on it. Right, But you're craving a pepperoni pizza, so you go to the store and you get you some beef pepperoni or turkey pepperoni. We use turkey pepperoni because I like turkey pepperoni better, and then I like beef bacon because some people like turkey bacon. I hate turkey bacon. I like beef bacon. It's way better. All that shit's unhealthy anyway, so I try not to eat it too much, as I say with a pizza on my lap. But you know, you can't be perfect. But then you get those turkey pepperonis, put it on that cheese pizza you just ordered, pop it in the oven for like 2 minutes, let that shit melt, and boom, you got a pepperoni pizza. What else? You like chorizo? All right, because you know, Northern Kingdom, you like chorizo? Yeah, I like chorizo too. So if I'm ever craving chorizo, you know, you can get beef chorizo. All right, you can get beef chorizo. You can get soy chorizo, called soy riso. It's not as good. I prefer the beef stuff. And you can go and do that. Well, I like bacon. Well, again, beef bacon, turkey bacon, right? Well, I like, what about my greens? I can't put ham hock in my green. Well, you can put other shit in your greens, right? That isn't ham hock. There's other meats you could put in it that are clean. Doesn't have to be ham hock. Ooh, it's like indigestion. But, you know, a lot of it's just an excuse with Jake, right? A lot of excuses. And there's no excuse getting around smoking. Well, is there anything? Can I vape? No, that's still smoking. All right? No, you can't do none of those things, right? And that's a state, you don't want to be in a state of constantly trying to find loopholes, okay? Because you'll hear the brothers talk about it. If you're trying to find a loophole all the damn time, you're just going off, trying to find a loophole. That's that Christian madness, man. Well, here's a loophole, right? Or that Mormon madness, that loophole. They try to find that soaking shit. I'm not going to talk about it too much because it's Sabbath, but after Sabbath, you know, go and look up what is Mormon soaking. That's a loophole. That's a loophole. Or they think that God says that you can't have coffee, right? So they'll say, okay, no coffee, but they will drink soda, even though it's caffeinated. But you shouldn't have coffee because it's caffeinated, but you can have soda because soda's not brewed. But you can have regular tea, even though it's brewed, because it doesn't have caffeine. Make that make sense. I know that confused some people right there. You can't have coffee because theoretically it has caffeine, right? And you're polluting your temple, right? But you can have soda even though it has caffeine because it's not brewed. Now, the reason was coffee because it's not brewed. But you can have uncaffeinated tea even though it's brewed because there's no caffeine. That's real Mormon shit. You can look it up. All right, it's confusing madness and it's bugged out. Right, and it shows you that all these Christian doctrines have flaws in them. They all have flaws. And but yeah, man. So don't try to be making loopholes. Don't act like the commandments are too hard. Look, there's none of the commandments are way too hard to keep. There's some that we physically just cannot keep, and there's some that we just can't keep perfectly, because even if we're not eating pork, we're eating pork, right? At the end of the day, because water bottles, if you have a water bottle, they're known to contain pork. All the food, if you ever eat at fast food, it's fried on the same grill, so it's got pork grease. But we're not going to go and order pork things. We're not going to eat pork. But it's technically still being consumed. They even said that, I think it was Elderman Natazatba that brought it. I think it was Elderman Natazatba or another brother that was talking about it, that the water source, I don't know why, all right, but it actually has like remnants of pork in it. And I think Esau's got to be putting it in it. They just got to be putting it in there, because how the hell is pork getting into the water, right? I don't know if I'm remembering correctly. I could be remembering wrong. But I know it's talking about the water bottle because it's the plastic. The plastic actually has, I don't know, pork derivative of some sort. I don't know. It's the plastic that does it. So anything in plastic, probably pork. All right. But, you're not going to go overboard and I'm not going to eat anything out of plastic ever again. Well, have fun with that, because some things just come in plastic containers, or, mayo comes in plastic, right? So you can't have that. Any condiments, they all usually come in plastic. Can't have any of that. All right, there's a bunch of stuff that comes in plastic. Your milk, can't have no milk, no matter if it's goat milk or, some of goat milk, some of them come in that paper type cardboard, but a lot of it comes in plastic, so you can't have that, right? And Esau's doing all sorts of stuff. So even, we can keep it. That's why I mention, and all the brothers mention, we say to the best of our ability, because it's to our ability. all right, we can go and not eat pork, right? We can go and not eat ham. We can go and not eat all these different things and these abominable things, right? Pork, it's ham. I just had ham and pork because ham's just a variation of pork. Ham, bacon, all right, pepperonis, salamis, all right, chitlins, all those different things. We cannot eat those things, but we can't control if Esau's, fucking putting them in the beef, right, or whatever, or like, certain stuff at like Subway, which, it's Apostle Heart doesn't even recommend going there anymore because what they found that their tuna fish wasn't even tuna, right? You could have been going in there in sincerity saying, okay, I can have the tuna, right, because tuna's clean, right, I can have tuna, and you just got some pork, weird fucking abomination asshole chop up intestine mix. They don't even know what was in it, right? They said it wasn't even all meat. So what else was in it? What was the stuff that was not meat? That's concerning. Right? Sometimes you got to eat fast food, but I'd probably stay away from Subway. All right. So, but yeah, man. Anyway, I'm gonna read Sirach 2 and 15 over a little bit of a conversation about there. So yeah, man, it's nothing that should be too. Oh, it's too hard. It's too hard. It's too hard. Look, do what you can do to the best of your ability. All right. We can't always help stuff with like working on Sabbath. We can't help certain things like as far as garment and clothing goes. All right, but that's within our ability. That's without outward, that's beyond the realms of our ability. All right, with clothes, it's it's expensive. We can't do it like that, man. All right, but we cannot eat pork. We can keep the Sabbath. All right, we can keep the law to the best of our ability. All right, we cannot commit adultery. All right, we cannot be homosexuals. We cannot smoke. All right, we cannot do drugs. All right, we cannot kill. All right, there's a bunch of things we can abstain from. All right. And when that argument comes into play, it's usually just with people that don't want to keep a singular one of the law, or they're trying to keep all the law. Like, that's the scripture says, let me go get it, actually, as a matter of fact. Or people want to boast, all right? That's another thing, all right? They want to be boasters. We got AI incorporated now. Yeah, look at that. Bam! Call all you Howbash Meow Shy. They actually incorporated AI into the app. I love that. All right, now I can actually get it way easier. I'm so glad they did that. This is going to be... Because I was just bitching last week about like how the searches on a lot of these Bible apps are terrible, but ChatGPT is like perfect. All right, so here we go now. Found it right away. AI generated. Ephesians 2 and 8 through 9. That's the one I was looking for. It says, "For by grace are you saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of Yahweh, not of works, lest any man should boast." So again, two sides. Don't go to two sides of the extreme. You have those people that they don't want to keep any of it because they're lazy, and they have the people that try to keep it all because they want to have boasting rights. All right. I won't say any names, but it sounds like Rathaniel. All right. So those are those type of guys. Those are the type of people over there at that camp. All right, that'll go and try to boast like that they're so perfect or something, right? And you can't say that you're not proud and you're not boastful. You came out on a horse. You came out on a horse. You can't ever say you weren't boastful. That's something proudful to do. Riding out on a horse like you're something. Anyway, Sirach 2 and 15. This is where we're going to close out. Sorry for the long-winded ramble. Verse 15 says, "They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways." All right, let's read that again. "They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways." They that love him will keep his ways. If you love the Lord, you're going to keep his ways. In verse 16, it says, "They that fear the Lord will seek that which is well-pleasing unto him." You're not worried about what's pleasing unto you. It's what's pleasing unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right? And it says, "And they that love him shall be filled with the law. They that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight, saying, We will fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of men. For as his majesty is, so is his mercy." And that's another thing you got to realize is the Lord is very merciful, right? He's not going to, you messed up and he's going to kill you instantly. No, he gives you some shots. He gives you some chances, right? He even says, What was it? Let me go and pull it up again. I can't remember how many times. Is it 7 times? A just man fell down. Is it 7 times? I think it might be 7 times because of completion. It'll do its thing. Yeah, it is. Proverbs 24:16. For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. So, yeah, there's going to be times, and I'm not talking about falling. Oops, I accidentally went out and I saw this girl and she looked so bad and I couldn't handle myself. I know she was married, but I did it. Oops. Nope, that's not how it works. Okay, that type of stuff will just get you killed. All right, there's certain things, all right, that we do. We're going off constantly. And once you realize that even, foolish thoughts, all right, are going off. All right, you have, man, if he came over here and did that stuff, man, if I wasn't in the truth, right, then you have to stop those thoughts. I mean, you get those thoughts, man. If I was in the truth, man, that guy is thankful that I'm in the truth, because if I wasn't, boy, he'd be having a hurting on him, right? Thoughts like that. That's a foolish thought. We shouldn't be really thinking like that, but it happens because of the carnality, and you got to rebuke it and move on. All right. I'm not guiltless. All right. None of us are guiltless. So this is a labor of love. All right. We do this because we love the Lord. All right. And we just hope to receive mercy. Right. We can't force it. At the end of the day, you're either predestinated or you're not. You're either of the elect or you're not. All right. We hope we're a part of the elect. But, there's truly no way to tell until we're on those chariots, right? And Lord willing, we are. Lord willing, I am. My wife, you brothers and your wives, all right? And we make it. There's just no way to tell. Lord willing, it's a good sign for us now that we're in this truth, but we want to continue on the truth, because you don't want to get to that hubris where, like, well, I'm already in the truth, and it's already a good sign. Yeah, but you could bug out or fall out at any moment, man, all right? Especially when you start getting proud. All right, that's one of the big things that happens before these guys bug out usually. They start getting proud. They start thinking of themselves to be something that they're not. All right, that they have some type of hidden information and wisdom that nobody else knows. It's just them. And then from there, it's just all downhill, man. So, and they end up bugging out, thinking they're King David or something. Or calling on some crazy name. All right, but yeah, man, this is a labor of love, all right? A work of love. All right, we do the work to show, and same with, teaching, all right? To show Yahweh Shem Yahushai that we care, all right? And to show our love towards him, and, abstain from worldly ways to, perform his ways that he would like us to behave. So, yeah, man, that's the lesson. A little long-winded rant there, so like you for that. Lord willing, some edification came from that regardless. I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. All right, once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKakwadash. I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until the next one, Lord willing, shalom.